With the Chancellor's budget looming on the 24th of March, I've been asked, well, what's happened already in terms of government announcements and the PBR that affects the future of UK enterprise? It's not gone past anybody's notice, I think, that most of the press coverage has been around access to finance, particularly for growth and early stage businesses. There's been a lot of announcement. I think there'll be more to come. The thing for business is, until they see it working on the streets, how will they know whether these announcements are really working? I think it's a challenge for government. It's a challenge for government to firstly differentiate between what are the things that are short-term needs driven by the recession and a downturn and the recovery, and what are more longer-term structural changes that are needed in terms of equity gap and other funding gaps for growth companies. Whenever I'm asked what will the 2010 budget bring for enterprise and for privately owned businesses, the first thing I always say, because it's crucial, is that this isn't a part of the economy that's looking for a crutch from government. I've been so proud to see what businesses are doing for themselves to look for opportunities in this downturn and to make themselves more competitive going forward. But what they are looking for from government are a couple of really important things. One is stability, so they can make decisions without worrying whether the rules are going to keep changing. And they're looking for fiscal competitiveness for the UK. And as well, there are some really important specific targeted reliefs for enterprise, like R&D tax credits, like the enterprise management incentive, like VCTs and EIS, which are really crucial. My own view, and I have no crystal ball here, is that in the budget the government will continue to support those specific enterprise reliefs where they believe they're working. My own personal view as well, though, is that they will keep tightening them up to make sure that they are spending that money and those incentives are really targeting in practice the policy objective of helping growth higher risk companies. Important question, of course, will tax rates go up? I think it's really hard for anyone to believe that tax rates are going to go down, given the position the economy is in. We already know about the income tax and NIC rises, and many believe that that's come to a dangerous level in terms of attracting international investment. But I do hope that the government are going to, when they're trying to balance the books, take account of those really important things, which is the stability and the competitiveness. And I think they've gone a long way to saying that so far in the tax framework for business that they've already published on the 22nd of February 2010. Some really good principles in there. The proof of the pudding is in the eating right now in terms of how the actions come through to align with those principles. I always smile that there are so many people who are willing to give their view on what they would do if they were the Chancellor in the forthcoming budget. I'd like to say first, I think it's an incredibly difficult job to balance the books right now. But against that backdrop, what I personally would be doing, having now published a tax framework for business, a draft framework, I would want to make sure that everything I did accorded with the 6 principles that are laid out in that framework. There are really important things in there, like competitiveness, fairness, simplicity, and stability and certainty. Those are so crucial that I would want everything I did, my actions, to speak those words. Otherwise it loses credibility. I believe it's so important to business. I believe everyone understands that it's a tough time now for tax rates. But keeping us competitive is not just about tax rates, it's about stability and people having trust in the tax system and what the long-term policy objective is.